Hi, this is Jeremy from Retro Game Van with the first garage sale pickup video of 2021. So, here I am, and there was just a few garage sales listed for this week. Nothing too major yet, even though it was super nice this weekend. So I decided to go check them out. There was one just in the same town, or just right on the border of the town where we live. So I decided to go there first. Nothing doing. And so there was another one listed for a town kind of 20 minutes south of where we live. Decided just to go there since there was nothing else going on and I had a little bit of time, so I went down there. And they had just listed that they had clothes and cement lawn ornaments. And so it's kind of interesting, like in the classifieds app where you can list where people list a lot of the garage sales. There you can see like how many people save it and like it to keep it for later, and no one had saved this listing, even though like the other listings had like 10 or 12 saves. And so thought, well, there's gonna be nothing there, there's gonna be no one there, so I might as well just go check it out because there may not be any competition down there today. So went down and looked around, and there was this random bin, and inside I see a Wii and a bunch of random stuff. So started digging through, and it's got all the Wii stuff. It's got the sensor bar, the AV cable, power cable, Wiimote, one remote with the Motion Plus adapter, as you can see, and connected to a nunchuck that's in there somewhere. I have not fully gone through this bin. There's just a bunch of junk, random electronics cables, but interesting, found a charge cable for a PSP Go, which with the PSP store going down, not sure how much people are going to want a Go, but if people are looking for an OEM charge cable, we're going to have an extra one. And also saw a random Game Boy Advance SP charger, which is nice. Always good to have extra chargers for handhelds, because as you probably know, there are always Game Boys out there, SPs out there that are missing the cable. People just lose them, and then that's usually when you can get a good deal, like on Facebook Marketplace, because people can't even see if it's still working or not. They find it in the shoebox somewhere in their closet, and they're like, oh, I don't know, and it doesn't work because the battery's dead and I can't find the charge cable, so I'm just going to throw it out there for cheap, just get what I can get out of it. So yeah, so that's always nice to have. Again, I'm probably not going to dig through this whole thing, but there's a couple Xbox 360 random things in there. One of the things that got me was the GameCube memory card that was in the console, which are always good to have around when you're selling GameCubes. So I went up to him and I asked him how much he was looking for it, and he's like, hey, why don't you just make me an offer, but my kids still might play with it, so let me know what you think. And so I kind of threw that line out there, like the kids still want to play with it, so make it a good offer. And so just kind of looking at the state of things, I was like, I'll give you $20 for the bin. And he's like, okay, great. And so I was thinking after, probably could have gone for less. That was probably more than he was expecting. But when I got up there to pay for it, he's like, hey, do we have anything else? And his wife just came out of the house, and his wife said, oh, we've got that other thing for the Wii Fit. And so they threw that in for free, which is no big deal because there's always piles of those at the thrift store. People don't really want Wii Fit boards. I've got a stack of them myself. But for free, that's a good price. And then there was also this sitting on the table, 120 gig drive for original 360. So that's not bad to have. So I'll plug it into an extra 360 that I have here, test it out, make sure everything's good, clear it off, and get ready to sell. But these things still do sell. People want bigger hard drives or replacement hard drives if there's dies on their 360. And so that's nice to have too. And so for the random bin for $20, not bad. I mean, the Wii itself will be able to double my money. but the extra charge cables for consoles and handhelds that are nice to have, and the hard drive and GameCube memory card, and who knows what else I'm going to find down there in the bottom of the bin. There may be some other treasure in there. And so as I was heading back out to the freeway to head home, there was another sale. There was a car posted on the main road heading back out to the freeway, and it said garage sale this way. And so I said, let's go check it out. That's probably not an old sign. There was a couple other old signs around town from last weekend or from last year. Sometimes people just don't take their signs down and no one ever cleans them up. And so that can be kind of frustrating when you're out and about. But I thought no one's going to leave their car out on the main road with a garage sale sign for weeks on end. So obviously this guy's probably for today. So I went there and kind of went up and started looking around, talking to the guy. He's still kind of rummaging around, kind of just talked to him a little bit and asked him how it was going. No one else was there. And he just said, yeah, I just kind of decided to throw this together last minute. And so I'm still trying to put stuff together. It was kind of later in the morning, maybe 9, 10 o'clock. And so he said he was pretty tired already. I think he was up late last night, kind of getting stuff together, and then up early this morning, kind of setting stuff out. But I was kind of looking around and found on the table he had a Super Nintendo just sitting there, and it's in this bin. This is my decontamination bin. It's a little trick that I learned from Chase After the Right Price. If you get something that comes from a smoker house and it smells pretty bad, throw it in a bin, seal it up with some dryer sheets, and I do that for a day or two, depending on how bad it is. And usually can get it smelling pretty neutral, pretty normal. And then after you clean it up, you do the normal isopropyl alcohol cleanup wipe down, and by then usually it's smelling pretty good and smelling good enough to go to any home. So he had that on there, 3 controllers, no cables, no power cable, no AV cable. So I don't think he was valuing it that much. Overall, it was in good shape. It was still gray, it wasn't yellowed, and there was no chips or dings. And then there was also this copy of Mega Man 4 sitting next to it. No NES, no other sign of NES. I asked him if, he still had the other consoles or what was going on, and he said, my kids left and they probably took the stuff they wanted with them. Mega Man 4, it had a little rattle in it, and it didn't sound like one of the small pieces of plastic that sometimes break off inside of consoles. One of the little clips, it sounded like a bigger something. So I was thinking, if it was, capacitor off the board that, fell off, broke off, blew up, and was rolling around in there, that might be an easy fix, depending on how much I can get it for. So it might be worth it. So I asked him how much he wanted for all the Nintendo stuff on the table, and he said, I don't know, how about $10? So I was like, great. I will take a chance on a Super Nintendo and Mega Man 4 for $10. Got it home, opened up Mega Man. It was a larger piece of plastic, one of the kind of the clips that goes around the corner of the board in there that kind of hold the board in place. That piece had broken off, but still holds the board in place even without that piece, and sounds good. So I cleaned up the pins, popped it in, and works like a champ. So we'll do some more cleanup on it this week, take the stickers off, clean up some of the dirt spots on there. But working copy of Mega Man 4. Also plugged in the Super Nintendo power cord and AV cord that I already had here on the test table, and it works like a champ. So working Super Nintendo, working Mega Man 4, $10 total, great deal. So we'll get the Super Nintendo cleaned up after it's done decontaminating, and we'll go through the bin of randomness and clean up the Wii. But for $30 for the first weekend for 2 consoles and a great NES game, major success. So that's it for this week. We'll see what happens next week, but hope you guys have good luck too, and we'll see you next time.